What is up, Juice Gang, and welcome to the RaysFlavs show. Today, we are going to talk about love. Let's go. Love, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about love. Why we want it, fear it, and need it anyway. Juice Gang, welcome to the show. If you have questions, put them in the chat. I'd love to talk to you guys, answer any questions. The goal is to go through 4 different segments. Number 1, why we're all chasing it, why we're all chasing love. Number 2, the fear of getting hurt. Number 3, why or what love really is. Number 3, what love really is, defining what love is. Segment number 4 will be why we still need it. Now that's the goal. But if Ramon comes in here or any of our friends come in here, they might take me on a superstar spaceship out to nowhere land. So you never know with the show. But nonetheless, thanks for joining us. Let's get started talking about love. And we're not talking about the rom-com version, the movie version. We're not talking about Instagram quotes with flowers and hearts and everything's beautiful and cushy. It's not always like that, especially if you get married. You know the real deal. It's not always roses. It might be Guns N' Roses like the band, but it's not always roses. Absolutely. We're talking about real love, the kind that changes you, that sometimes scares you, sometimes will break you. That's why I'm bald. It's crazy. Let's get into segment 1, why we're chasing it. Why are we chasing love? I think we're wired for connection. There's this sense that even from when you're a child, think about when you're a child, you're born, you're inside of an actual human being. We're inside of our mothers, super tight in there, all warm and cuddly and gushy maybe, but then we get born and we're out into this world, and then we still need that. Remember when we had to wrap the baby, if you have kids out there, you have to wrap your babies really tight. That's the only time. If not, they're like squiggly and they're whiny and they're cranky and they're crying because they're used to that tightness. They're used to something being wrapped around them, something super, super tight. And that's their comfort. That's what they need. And that's almost a metaphor for love, something that wraps around you and makes you feel warm. Yes, there's those movies. Yes, there's those scenes, those things we search for and long for, that comfort, that warmth around us, that love around us. And even as we get into adulthood, we continue wanting that. I've got a little hair like on my hat, but yeah, that is something about that. I don't know, tell me what you think in the chat. There's something about that need for love that makes you feel seen. It makes you feel known. You want that other connection. We are humans. For some reason, all of us want to, or need, or long for a connection to each other. It could be just a friend type of relationship, but at some point, if you're really close with the person, there's this love that happens, this attachment, and whether it doesn't even need to be romantic, it could be just your friend that you super over years have so much in common, have shared experiences with each other. You become super in love with that person as a person, and the same thing can happen in love, right, Green Bay Nels? The same thing can happen with a romantic relationship. If it gets really, really deep, that's really what you want, I think, is that friend. Your wife or your partner should be your best friend. At some point, once you get deeper into the relationship, maybe you get married or whatnot, or you live together for many, many years, at some point, really, they may ask you, well, who's your best friend? At some point, hopefully, you will say your partner, your wife, your spouse, your partner. Hopefully, you might say that. That's when it's really, really good, because then it's really deep. It's not just about the sex. It's about the being together, spending time together, real life examples. Let me give you a real life example. of my husband for sure. Red, exactly. That's a good example, J-Rob. Red, that's your best friend. Red is your best friend. Wouldn't you say that? That should easily come out. You guys have been married for many, many years, right, J-Rob? How many years have you and Red been married, J-Rob? Did we lose you? Maybe she's lurking. Holy moly. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's talk about a real life example. There's a real life example right there. J-Rob and her husband have been married many, many years. And I'm sure she can easily say that Red is her best friend. Chasing love. Chasing love. If you are really in love, you guys probably have great examples of this. If you're really in love with somebody, you're chasing them, right? Over and over again. I'm chasing the management all the time. Chasing her, and she's running. She is running. If you know the manager, she is running. We call her not a fan. If you've never watched the show with me live and her eating at a restaurant, I love everything. She loves particular things. I like the food. I might like the ambience. She is looking for something particular. She is very particular. So I am always chasing. There's a great example. Me chasing her. That's our thing. We're always dating because I am constantly chasing her. I'm trying to track her down. If you know where she's at right now, please let me know. No, I dropped her off at the airport yesterday. She's fine. So yeah, there's an example in my life, chasing love. Let's get to number 2, the fear of getting hurt. There's always a fear, right? It takes time to build trust. You don't know if that person, especially when you're younger, is that person seeing somebody else, or am I seeing somebody else? Is there something happening? And you really are out on a limb. If you're really trusting this person and you really believe in your heart that that one person is with you, that's the real, truly trust. The trust has to be built. There's a vulnerability in that trust, right? It's scary because you really can't be with that person every day. You can't follow them around unless you're psychopath, unless you're like the psychopath that knocked down Jennifer Aniston's fence the other day. Then you're not going to be stalking anybody. And by the way, if you do that, you don't have confidence in yourself. You should have a little bit of confidence to not have to be chasing your loved one around and hoping that they love you. It is scary. It is scary that you have to trust. There's a vulnerability there. You can obviously get, like our iPhone has the Track Your Wife app. Of course, we have that to stay safe, so we know where each other are at, and if anything scary happens. This is a scary world. We do, if we have spouses, need to know where each other are at, but we're not stalking each other. We're not worry too much. There is worry there. There's a vulnerability there. It's the price of love, right? It's the price we pay. We want to be in this thing. We have to build trust. We have to hope that the trust always is there and that it continues to grow. If not, a lot of times, if you're not willing to build and have that vulnerability, then a lot of times you might do what I've done, what you may have done in the past, build up walls. We tend to build up walls, especially if you're an avoider. Like me, I'm an avoider. I don't want conflict. I don't want no conflict. I don't want no conflict. I don't want a bunch of conflict. So I tend to do things like I make things funny. Like I'm talking about love right now, and I'm trying to make it funny. When I was at talking and speaking at my dad's funeral, I told jokes. That's how I get. When things are serious, I try to make it unserious to kind of bring some levity to the situation. That's how I detach. There's a good word that I wrote here as notes. Detach. We try to detach from these situations if it's a situation you don't want to be in and you're not ready to face it right away. Maybe you create some walls, you detach from it, you make humorous, you try to make it humorous, you distract yourself. Maybe if you're in a horrible relationship right now, maybe you're spending a lot more time at work, right? You're like, I'm just going to go to work for 15 hours. I'd rather be at work than have to come home and hear him or her tell me about doing dishes, tell me about taking the trash. I never do anything right anyways. Even if I did it, even if I did the dishes and I bought golden plates, it would still be wrong. So nobody wants to deal with that. So let's go to work for 15 hours, and then that way when we get home we just crash out, we're good to go. That's I've used that one before. As you can tell, I know that one well. Crazy scary times. But there's times like you love can be very scary. Here's a story from my life, a story of being scared. For instance, when me and the manager were first dating, we were young, and I like to do things. I'm always in doing things. I'm going to restaurants. I'm going to shows. I was a musician back then. At this very moment, this is how our first date kind of went down. I knew her, whatever. We were talking, but this is how our first date went down. I call her and I say, hey, I've got to sell this big tumba drum. If you don't know what a tumba drum, it's a big drum. It's a conga drum. I've got to go out to Hollywood and sell this drum to this guy. Do you want to roll? That was my pickup. That was my move. That was my movimiento. Right there, that was my move. I got to go sell this drum in Hollywood. You want to roll with me or what? You want to, and she's like, well, but my car, I'm here like right by the West Covina Mall. I'm driving. What am I going to do with my car? I said, leave it there. I'll pick you up at the mall. That's a crazy adventure. So I'm like, leave it there. I'll pick you up. We'll go to Hollywood, get sell this thing, and we'll come back. She's like, okay. And that's when I already knew there was something. She likes adventure. I like adventure. There's a little something going there, right? But then I pick her up, and here's the scary part. I pick her up. She gets in the car. She's got scratches all over her face, welts and scratches on her arms, scratches. I'm like, what? Did you fight a tiger? Did you get in a fight with a tiger? What happened? I don't care that it's a first. I'm just excited. I want to hear the story. What happened? You get a fight with a tiger? She's like, no, I got a fight with my sister, my younger sister. We were fighting. We physically fought. We got in an argument. We literally fought. And so you don't know what you're getting into at this moment, right? It's scary. You're meeting this person for the first time. She's got welts all over the place. She's fighting with her sister. What kind of family is this? You can only, when I'm driving down this highway with this lady, I'm like, what kind of family environment am I getting into? First of all, because I'm forward thinking. What if I really like this chick? What if we end up getting married and I'm stuck with her crazy family? But if you're willing to take those risks, my friends, driving down the freeway with a crazy woman, there are some rewards. You get those rewards. I got to marry her eventually. I get to know her family. Her family is amazing, by the way. They don't fight. I never seen them fist fight, so hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. Maybe that was once and never, because I never seen them. I never seen any of them fight like that, so I don't know how that happened. But that was our first date. It went well, and the rest is history. What love really is, section number 3. What love really is. Love is not the butterflies. It's the presence. It's choosing. I chose to stay. She chose to stay. We continue to choose to stay. Over time, things change. I have kids from another relationship. You might have mixed family. Blended family makes it even crazier, challenging. You don't know what the other person's going to think when you bring this person in your life. You don't know what the kids are going to think. There's all kinds of different situations. We could be here for an hour just talking about all your different situations. You can put them in the chat if you want. It's all kinds of challenges. You have to choose to do it. It's a verb. It's not just a feeling. It's not these unrealistic expectations from social media. It's choosing. And by the way, when you finally decide to get married, marriage wasn't made to make you happy. I think people get that mixed up. Put that in the chat if you don't agree with me. It's not made to make you happy. I think it's made to make you grow. It's made to make you grow together, to actually humble yourself to where you start doing things for the other person, to where you start sacrificing, especially if you have kids. You're sacrificing for the kids, you're sacrificing for her. Believe me, I'm still learning this. I got a long way to go with this. I'm a selfish person. I want to do things for myself. I want to make sure I get something to eat, but I'm learning from her. She loves to give. She likes to give. I got to learn to give. I got to learn to worry about other people. I got to learn those things. And sometimes you find that perfect match, and it might be a mixed match. She might have the qualities that you need. You might have the qualities that she needs. And so you're rubbing off on each other and hopefully growing in that way. So it's kind of cool. Last section here, why we still need it. Why? Love teaches us compassion. That's what I just said right now. I just basically talked about right now. It teaches us compassion, teaches us patience. Oh my gosh, do we learn patience? Because you got to live with this person. You got to deal with the freaking, she's putting your toothbrush somewhere else. Maybe it's driving you nuts. You had your favorite toothbrush and she changed the toothbrush out. Now you got a pink toothbrush and you like the blue toothbrush. Who knows? Anything can drive you nuts. A simple thing like that. The wrong nacho cheese in the plate. The wrong detergent. When you're living with somebody for years, something can set you off. So you got to have patience. You got to have resilience. You got to keep working at it. It's a chore. It's a verb. It's not always a feeling. It's a verb a lot of times. The deepest version of love helps us grow. It could be romantic, of course. It could be the platonic, almost, we talked about friendship type of loves, platonic type relationships, which are awesome. Familial, you get the family. I think if I'm right here, agree with me, or if not, put in the chat. That combination of the romantic, the friend, the family that you're building, those three right there kind of makes a nice, good mixture. Romantic, it could be friendly, it could be familial. That kind of makes a great combination. And even heartbreak has something to offer as well. But we'll get into that next time. Next time we'll talk about rejection. Our next show we'll talk about rejection. Just wanted to get into the topic of love. So if you've been hurt, me too. But I still believe in love. If this hits home, drop a comment below. Tell me your love story or your heartbreak. And make sure you put the comments, because make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, because you never know. Look at this, randomly popping on live all the time, because I don't know my schedule. This is real. We got kids, we got work. You never know when I'm popping on, so make sure you subscribe as well. I read all the comments. I'm actually waiting for the comments. I'm like, hey, got any comments? Any comments? Any comments? So please hit me some comments. Love to hear what you guys think about this. Again, next time let's talk about rejection, and we'll find out what you think about that. Thank you so much for tuning in. It didn't take long. See? Only like 19 minutes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, J-Ruff, for popping in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Juice Gang Gang. Stay thirsty, my friends, and not dangerous. Have a great one.